So, as I said, Vidyaranya was discussing, was quoting as a support about of Nirguna Brahma Upasana from the Brahma Sutra. Vyasacharya ji has also mentioned about it. Not only just mentioned, he has discussed few aspects for the Nirguna Brahma Upasana. And well, in that, the object of meditation, etc., either it is both, has been mentioned there. Parapara Brahma Vidya. Para Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya here means Upasana. So, Para Brahma Upasana, Para means Saguna Brahma Upasana. Those Upasanas have been mentioned in the Upanishad. And definitely the attributes of the object of meditation, Ishvara, mentioned in one Upanishad and in another Upanishad. Or Nirguna Brahma, certain attributes mentioned in one Upanishad and attributes mentioned in other Upanishad differ. Differ means some of them are missing in one, few are missing in one, then the other one include them and accept like that. So he says, you can decide whether the upasana is one and the same or different. If it is different, you cannot combine the attributes. Upasamhara means a combination. Guna means attributes. So that gunopasamhara is possible only when you establish that it is one and the same upasana, even though it is mentioned in different branches of the Veda. And once you determine it is identical, then the attributes, even though it is missing in one Upanishad, attributes mentioned in other Upanishad and missing some other attributes there, you can combine them all. And so that way Vyasacharya has accepted Nirguna Brahma Upasana also and solved this problem pertaining to that Upasana. So, and there are both the types of. Vyasacharya has talked about positive description of a Nirguna Brahma found in several Upanishads, as well as negative description of Nirguna Brahma found in other Upanishads. So, in which sutra? In 3.3.11 and 3.3.33, he mentions that Vidhe Gunaha, Nishedya Gunaha. And so, basically, both the types of gunas must be combined and Nirguna Brahma Upasanam has to be followed. This combining is called Gunopasamhara. It's a technical word actually. Combination. Upasamhara actually we know. Upakrama Upasamhara, that's the beginning and end. Upasamhara means a conclusion actually. But here we'll take Upasamhara as he has taken as a combination, combining. And when this much is mentioned, then Purvapaksha comes with an objection, in Pancadasi, that you are talking about this Nirguna Brahma Upasana and Gunopasamhara, etc. When Gunopasamhara is done, it is no more actually Nirguna Brahma Upasana, because you are doing a combination of the gunas. Then definitely it cannot be called Nirguna Brahma Upasana. It is Saguna Brahma Upasana. So very sentence that Gunopasamhara in Nirguna Brahma Upasana is a contradictory statement. It's a logical fallacy. That said, Purvapakshi creates a doubt. So he says Guna Samhriti, combination of all the gunas. Nirguna Brahma Tattvasya Vidyayam, in context of Nirguna Brahma Upasana, na yujyeta, it is not possible, not logically tenable. This is a statement by Purvapakshi. Then Vidyaranya says, Iti Upalambaha, this criticism of you, he Purvapakshi, should not be directed towards me. Vyasam Prati Upalambaha Bhavatu. Because Vyasacharya ji has done this combination of attributes, gunas, in Nirguna Brahma Upasana, that he has done in the third pada of the third chapter. I have not done. So, natu mam prati. Don't ask me. Please ask Vyasacharya ji how Gunopasamhara in Nirguna Brahma Upasana, how it is possible. You should ask to Vyasacharya ji. And who is speaking? Kindly stop. Who is speaking? Then now let's see verse 71. Okay, so aviruddham, hiranyasmashu suryadi murtinam anudahartehe aviruddham nirgunatvam iti se tushyatam tvaya. So, with moment Vidyaranya directed the Purvapaksha to Vyasacharya, he naturally, who will challenge Vyasacharya. No one will do that job. And therefore, the Purvapakshi was sure that Vyasacharya won't make such illogical statements. And therefore, if Vyasacharya has done this Gunopasamhara in Nirguna Brahmopasana, then there must be some reason. Now Vyasacharya is not around, even though he is a Chiranjeevi, he is not around. Even if I go to Badrinath, I may not find him also. And therefore, let me find a solution for myself. So he created a doubt that this is logically not possible. Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Gunopasamhara in Nirguna Brahma Upasana, combination of attributes in attribute-less Brahman Upasana. That is, it looks very logically untenable. But he says, I will find a solution on my own. I don't want to go to ask, don't want to go to Vyasacharya to ask anyway. And so, he answers that gunas are of, he tells to Vidyaranya that gunas are of two types. And one is a popular guna, prasiddha guna, which makes Brahman as sagunam. So he gives example also later, Hiranyasmashru, etc. And the second type of upasana, second type of gunas, they are figurative. They are really not gunas, but describing, you call them as a guna. Like what is essential nature of a given thing, you may call it as a guna. We call it as a swarupa guna. Like ushnatvam of the fire. Now you say, ushnatvam is a guna of the fire. Actually, it is, in a real sense, it is not a guna. If guna is there, then definitely attribute is there, then there must be a basis where the attributes reside. So then there will be a connection between, there will be a relationship between a substantive and attribute. So guna guni sambandha will be there. That kind of a relationship is not there in case of a ushnatvam of a fire. Well, so that heat, etc., resides as a non-separate guna in the fire. No. It's a nature. But we figuratively call guna. So this Purvapakshi says, we can understand. It is not logically tenable. We can understand the gunas of a Nirgunam Brahma, Gunopasamhara in Nirgunam Brahma. So Swarupa gunas are there. They are figuratively called gunas, and actually they are basically the nature, essential nature of a Brahman. And what are they? Well, Satchidananda, Ananda Dehe. He told already, Videya Guna. So Satchidananda, that is a Swarupa Guna. And there is no substantive attribute relationship there. Right? Consciousness is not residing in Atma. I told you, and I was explaining you in Nishkarma Siddhi very beautifully. Sureshwaracharya said, any attribute which you experience, that is not there in Atma. Any attribute, any damn attribute, what you experience is not there in Atma. That's it. It's there in object, because guna always resides in a guni. If guna is experienced, you are experiencing guni also. Therefore, if guna is anatma as well as guni also is anatma. That's it. Guna guni both are anatma. Therefore, kama, krodha, everything you experience. But Swamiji, if kama I am experiencing, therefore it's my svabhava. That's what Bhattamimamsaka says. You experience directly. Right? You experience directly. Manas pratyaksha. What is your experience? Oh, that kama is in me. The krodha is in me. I am kami. I am krodhi. I am this. That is a pratyaksha, perception. Manas pratyaksha. Whereas, Vedanta, you are proving Atma is free from attributes indirectly. You don't see the Atma free from attributes, but you prove it indirectly. How indirectly? Well, you say you experience all these things, gunas, therefore definitely they are object of knowledge, object of experience, and they are non-separate from the guni. Well, therefore, if you are experiencing guna, you are also experiencing guni. Like you see the red rose, so you see the red color, then definitely you are experiencing a red color, then you are experiencing the flower also, that rose also. And therefore, well, so the guna, if you are experiencing the guna, definitely you are experiencing guni. Means you are not the guni. You are the subject of experience, experiencer. Therefore, that must be residing in something else, and that is mind, kama, krodha, etc. Anyway, and therefore, Atma is free from guna. We say with inference like that. He said Atma is really having attributes because that you perceive directly. Directly, not through indriya. There are two types of pratyaksha. Not through sensory perception, but it is a mental perception. Many things you experience mentally, directly. Even you don't need senses in that. So all those emotions you experience directly. And what's your experience? I am Kami, I am angry, I am this. So all gunas are in me only. So Bhattamimamsa says, well, definitely that is, Atma is with attributes. It's a pratyaksha. And O Vedantin, you are trying to prove Atma is free from attributes through inference. Who is greater? One who pratyaksha is a prabala pramana. And therefore the conclusion arrived at through pratyaksha, manasa pratyaksha, that I am with all attributes. Well, that is more powerful. And your conclusion, Atma is free from attributes through inference, because that same inference is a weak pramana. Therefore, that should not be considered. Then we said, what you say as a pratyaksha is not a pratyaksha, it is a pratyaksha abhasa. You see a snake on the rope, and then you say, well, since I see, I perceive, pratyaksha, the snake on the rope, therefore it is true. There is a snake. Kya baat hai? Actually, it is a abhasa. It's a pratyaksha abhasa. You are basically, superimposing this on a rajju, sarpa on a rajju. Same way, all these attributes are there in the mind, but you basically superimpose mind along with its own dharmas, attributes, completely on yourself, and then you say Atma is having all these attributes, kama, krodha, lobha, etc., everything. So therefore, yours is not a pratyaksha. It is pratyaksha abhasa. The real pratyaksha is that what you experience, gunas, etc. The guni also is an object of experience. Guna also is an object of experience, and therefore, definitely they are there in the mind. That is pratyaksha. When you perceive manasa pratyaksha, when you perceive your mind, it's an object of experience. You also perceive the attributes also in the mind, and therefore that is called pratyaksha. You are superimposing mind also upon yourself, and then the dharma of the mind also upon yourself. And therefore, it is pratyaksha abhasa. Where the dhyasa is involved, it is pratyaksha abhasa. It is not pratyaksha. Anyway, and therefore Atma is free from attributes. But then Swamiji, consciousness also I experience. Acha, very good. You are experiencing consciousness like the way you experience anger and everything. Acha, then anger, etc., before it arises, you are very much there. Anger arises, you are there. Anger goes away also, yeah, go. So any object of experience comes and goes, yeah. So consciousness also comes and goes. Do you experience consciousness like that? Now it is arising in my mind, and then it goes away, and then now again it comes, then it goes away. Do you experience consciousness like that? No. You don't experience consciousness, by the way you experience all emotions. Yeah. If you experience consciousness, it is an object of experience. If it is an object of experience, it comes and goes. Any experience along with the object comes and goes. Everything experience of God also. Experience of God in a particular form comes and goes. Any experience with, maybe laukika or alaukika, extraordinary experience or ordinary experience, it all comes and goes. It's all anatma only. It's all mithya only. Do you think consciousness is mithya? In fact, consciousness alone is there in the mind all the time. All the experiences arise in that. Objects of experience are experienced and they go away. you are invariable in all the experiences. And therefore, you never experience consciousness. You beautifully said there in Nishkarma Siddhi. Therefore, Swarupa Guna cannot be experienced. Therefore, Atma is free from any Guna. But then you say consciousness Guna, that's a Swarupa. Figuratively you call Guna. But that is not experienced. So therefore, Atma is Nirguna, basically. Anyway, so here it says Videya Guna and Swarupa Gunas can be of both the types. Videya, positively certain things are described, and in a negative fashion also certain things are described. And so there is no relationship between consciousness and Atma as substantive and attribute relationship is not there. Just as, unlike the Kama, etc., is an attribute and mind is a substantive. Then there also, let us accept Swarupa Guna. No, cannot. Why? Because if it is nature, if Kama is the nature of the mind, then mind will be always Kami. It goes away. Now instead of Kama, there is some other emotion. Now there is some other emotion. Now there is some other emotion. So therefore, there it is a Prasiddha Guna. But the consciousness is a Swarupa Guna. And therefore, there cannot be Atma without consciousness. There is no consciousness other than Atma actually. Yeah, there is no consciousness other than Atma. Try to erase consciousness from Atma. Try to erase the heat from the fire. Try. And therefore, yes, try to erase Kama from the mind. You can. Please understand this. Therefore, there is no substantive attribute relationship. Where there is no substantive attribute relationship, there if we mention any attribute, that is the essential nature. Figuratively we call attribute. That's it. This is a very beautiful point he has brought out here. And so, like heat of the fire, etc., is not a Prasiddha Guna, it's a Swarupa Guna. Same as Satchidananda is a Swarupa Guna. Thereafter, Purvapakshi says, well, Prasiddha Guna, he himself is answering, so he is not creating a doubt. Doubt he has already created. How attributes or combination of attributes in a meditation of a attributeless Brahman. Because the combination of attributes, why we are doing? Not for doing meditation. Of what meditation? Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Combination of attributes for the sake of meditation in a attributeless Brahman, which doesn't have attributes, then why you are combining guna in order to meditate? So he created that doubt, and now he is answering that it is possible gunas figuratively, what is Swarupa can be called figuratively as a guna. And then there are Prasiddha Gunas, etc. also, where there is a substantive attribute relationship. Here there is no substantive attribute relationship. It is one and the same. Like the heat or the fire is one and the same thing. And therefore this is, so he says further, Prasiddha Guna can't join this Nirgunam Brahma. Nirgunam becomes Sagunam otherwise. Like the red color has joined the this flower, rose, etc. So then we say flower has a color, rose has a color. So there that is possible. But Swamiji, redness you said cannot be separated from the substantive flower. That's true, yeah. But that redness is available elsewhere? Yeah, available elsewhere. Rose also is available in other colors? Yeah, it's available in other colors. Therefore, definitely there are two different things, but they are non-separate. That's for sure. Can you separate consciousness from Atma? And consciousness now, instead of Atma, you will find it in some Anatma. And the Atma, you will find some Jada. You won't do that. So heat leaves. One day heat got so much irritated from the fire and it left fire. Kya baat hai? Now fire is there with as a cold fire. No. Then definitely that is a Swarupa. That's a Swarupa. Whereas attribute, you find it in some other substantive. Instead of a red color, you find some other substantive. Even the rose itself, you find in another color, white, etc. And therefore, definitely attribute substantive relationship is there. They are all prasiddha guna, redness, etc., or whiteness, or whatever, the fragrance, etc. in the rose, etc. You find they are all attributes which are prasiddha guna, and therefore we call the flower, the rose, etc., with attributes. So that's called saguna. Same way, prasiddha guna, but Brahman has this Sachidananda, etc., is not a prasiddha guna. They are very nature of the Brahman. So, and I have to mute. So, Swarupa Guna basically all the time it is there. I mean, it's the nature of the thing. And what are type of such Swarupa Gunas are there for Nirguna Brahma? As I said, Videya Guna, Sachidananda, etc. We have seen that. And Nishedya Guna, Asthulam, Ananu, Arasvamadhigam, etc. So, they are Swarupa Gunas and indicating only Nirguna Brahma. And therefore, you can combine them. We have seen the condition for combination of the gunas. We can do the conditions, 4 factors are there. I discussed that. Anyway, so Swarupa Gunas can be combined because they all reveal one thing, and that is Nirguna Brahma. And therefore, Vyasacharya has not committed any mistake in Gunopasamhara Nyaya. Combining all the attributes of Nirguna Brahma, what Vyasacharya has done is correct. Here, Gunopasamhara is a Swarupa Gunopasamhara. Swarupa Gunopasamhara. And Swarupa Guna is in which the Guna word is a figurative word. It's a nature, essential nature. So, Gunopasamhara Nyaya, what we have seen, they will not be contradicted in the case of Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Well, Vidyaranya says, fine, very good. What I have to tell you, you yourself are telling, you are creating a doubt and you yourself are answering with the fear of a Vyasacharya ji. Very nice. So Vyasacharya ji also talked about this Nirguna Brahma Upasana in Brahma Sutra. Swarupa Upasamhara. Anyway, so Nirguna Brahma Upasana is possible. That's a topic going on. It is going to end now. And then, this is a Purvapaksha's answer, of course. And then Vidyaranya quotes Hiranyasmashru Suryadi Murtinam. See, now these are the Prasiddha Gunas of the Ishvara, Saguna Brahma, which can, which of course cannot exist in Nirguna Brahma. What are they? Hiranyasmashru Suryadi Murtinam. In a Chandogya Upanishad 166, you find the description of the Ishvara in Aditya, right? So the whole disk, solar disk is his face, and then they have done naturally they have imagined also eyes, then they have imagined a mustache. You must have seen that kind of Aditya sun with a mustache and eyes and golden, totally golden, right? So golden. So Hiranyakshaha, Hiranyasmashruhu, etc., etc. and Hiranyakeshaha. That kind of description is there in Chandogya 166 for Upasana of Ishvara, Saguna Brahma, in the form of Aditya. And the whole Aditya is looked upon the face of Ishvara, and having this beard and smashru and that mustache and eyes and kesha. While in that all the rays of the sun are looked upon as a kesha, of the Ishvara in the form of Surya. So Surya Bhagavan as a Saguna Brahma has golden beard, golden hair, golden mustache. That's what he says here. So Surya, Hiranyasmashru Suryadi Murtinam, such forms which, in the form of the sun, and having this golden beard and the hair and mustache, etc. That description of the Ishvara that attributes of the Ishvara has not been included in Nirguna Brahma Upasana section in the third pada of the Brahma Sutra. Therefore, Vyasacharya is excluded as this physical description, and so you can understand that these are the attributes of Prasiddha Guna, not the Swarupa Guna of the Brahman, definitely. Therefore, Anudahrate, he has not included that particular Upasana, he has not discussed under the Nirguna Brahma Upasana section in the third pada. While he was discussing Ananda Adi, etc., and I told you that 3.3.11 and 3.3.33, etc., where he has included, he has talked about the gunas of Brahman, Nirguna Brahma, like Ananda Adi, Satchidananda, etc., and Asthulam, Ananur, etc. There he has told us to do Upasamhara of all, because ultimately it is pertaining to Nirguna Brahma. But he has not included these gunas of Hiranyasmashru and golden eyes and golden beard and golden hair and all that, and whole face is golden, highly illuminating, etc. All this, that is he has not included. He has not told to include in Nirguna Brahma Upasana. That is very, so he is very clear. Vyasacharya is very clear. Anudahrate means they are not included. Nirgunatvam aviruddham, and therefore whatever we discussed, Videya Guna and Nishedya Guna, Anandadi, etc., Videya Guna, Asthulam, etc., Nishedya Guna, all those you can definitely include. All those you can combine for a Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Nirgunatvam aviruddham. It's not a contradiction there. So this is how he said. Vidyaranya says, wonderful. Tvaya tushyatam. May you be satisfied with your answer. Because this is what you only are saying. We are not saying anything. Vyasacharya is total stop. He only created a doubt with that how it's a logically untenable. Attributes of a, combination of the attributes of the, in the meditation of the Nirguna Brahma. That's a logically untenable, you said, and now you yourself are answering that yes, Vyasacharya has not included these attributes in Nirguna Brahma Upasana. He has not told to do combine this, Smashru and all this, pertaining to Saguna Brahma actually. That is not included there. Therefore, we cannot create a doubt against Vyasacharya's this pada. Verse 72. Gunanam lakshakatvena na tattventah praveshanam iti chedastvevameva brahmatattvam upasyatam. So, well, before we get totally satisfied, Purvapaksha again creates a doubt. He visualizes a doubt and he comes up with the answer. But this particular one is a really wonderful. Paksha. He has created a doubt. So that doubt is created and then again he will answer. So Vidyaranya puts answer also in Purvapakshi's mouth. Again, so same thing. What is the possible question? Like previously we said that, Prasiddha Gunas and Swarupa Gunas we discussed. So Purvapakshi himself said that Swarupa Gunas can coexist with the Nirguna Brahma because it is a Swarupa actually. It's not attribute, substantive relationship, etc. That is a Swarupa, that's essential nature, and therefore it will be there. And so he himself said that Swarupa Guna can coexist with Nirguna Brahma. There is no doubt. Now question is, what is that speciality of the Swarupa Guna? Swarupa Guna also is a Guna. Now he has a doubt again. Swarupa Guna also is a Guna, and therefore how can it coexist with a Nirguna Brahma? Ultimately it is Guna only. If it is a Guna, then how can it exist in a Nirguna Brahma? So, he creates a doubt. So he is asking Vidyaranya that, give us some logical support for your conclusion that, Gunopasamhara of a Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So, how this Swarupa Guna can coexist with Nirguna Brahma? And Vidyaranya does not answer. Vidyaranya puts an answer in Purvapakshi's mouth. So, then even Swarupa Gunas also, like Satchidananda, etc., they are the words. which is revealing Brahman. So even Sarupa Guna like Satchidananda, etc., as as a words, Satchidananda, of Nirgunam Brahma, from standpoint of a Vyavaharik Prapancha. So the word Satchit and Ananda we use for the Nirguna Brahma, and you said that Satchit Ananda are the Guna. That Guna, even though it is a Swarupa, but it's a Guna, and therefore, definitely, how can it exist in Nirgunam Brahma? And therefore, Vyasacharya, he himself answers that Satchidananda, etc., we tell we use these words for the Nirgunam Brahma. It's also from the standpoint of a Vyavaharik Prapancha, from the Jagat, which is Adhyastam on Brahman. Like rope is called Adhishthanam. From the standpoint of what? From the standpoint of superimposed snake. Once the superimposition go away, then rope is not called Adhishthan. Rope is not called Adhishthan. Rope is rope. Rope is rope. Rope is not Adhishthan. But from the standpoint of what is Adhyastha, we call it as Adhishthan. Same way the Satchidananda also from the standpoint of this Vyavaharik Prapancha only, from this empirical existence of the Jagat only we say Satchidananda. Because why? Why from the standpoint? Because the Jagat also exists. Yeah, Jagat exists. Empirically, yeah. In your Vyavahara it is there. No, it is there. Therefore you say it is existing. Yeah, it's existing. But then we say its Adhishthanam is basically absolute existence. Its existence can never be negated. Whereas the existence of the Jagat is negated. So basically this Jagat which is superimposed upon Brahman, that Jagat, to reveal the existence of Jagat which is say empirical existence, we call Brahman the Adhishthanam having an absolute existence. That's called Sat. Like the same thing, the snake exists because you see, how long till you throw a light on that, right? And the moment you throw the light, the Adhishthanam is revealed, right? Sarpa goes away. So basically, we can say the snake exists, and that is Adhyastha, and the rope which is Adhishthanam, that exists forever. You can say rope will remain. When you say there is a snake, there was a rope, there is a rope, and now snake has gone away, still there is a rope. So it is so the Adhishthanam means with a just in an example, Adhishthanam has a absolute existence. We call Sat here from the standpoint of this Jagat which comes and goes, which has not absolute existence, which has an existence empirically. That empirical existence alone is called Mithya. Ontological term Mithya is for the thing which has a empirical existence. That's all. That's it. Empirical existence, like experiential existence, you can say. Anyway, so therefore, the Sat word, you have a problem with the Sat. It is a Guna. How, but that even though it is Swarupa, but then you use word Guna. That then how it exists with the Nirgunam Brahma? How Sat exists? From the standpoint of Vyavaharik Prapancha, we call it Sat. That the Brahman which is Adhishthanam of everything, on which the whole thing is Adhyastam, that exists forever. That's an absolute existence. So from the standpoint of a Vyavaharik Prapancha which has not absolute existence, we call Brahman the Adhishthanam, the truth or the content of the Jagat as having a absolute existence. Therefore, word Sat definitely is used from the standpoint of that, from the standpoint of existence of the Vyavaharik Prapancha. Brahman is given a name Sat to indicate absolute existence. So that is one thing. Then we give name Chit for the Nirgunam Brahman. They are also the same thing from the standpoint of Vyavaharik Jagat. Because the Chit, the consciousness manifest which you experience. Yeah. The way you experience the Jagat, the existence of Jagat comes and goes, etc. You experience. Same way here also. You experience consciousness. Yeah. But you said no, and now you experience consciousness like in the body. That's not absolute consciousness. What you experience here is a Chidabhasa. Okay? What you experience, which is manifest consciousness in the body, mind or senses, etc. You experience they are conscious. That's a Chidabhasa actually. And therefore, well, so what you experience as a consciousness is just a Chidabhasa, and therefore Brahman is what is a absolute consciousness, Chit, just pure consciousness, let us say, not that manifest consciousness. That's not manifest consciousness. And therefore, well, to from the standpoint of a Vyavarika Jagat which is revealed, or I will give you another thing. So whenever in any living being that consciousness is experienced as a Chidabhasa, as a sentient being, there is a sentiency, there is a life here. You can when you touch, you feel, you have a sensation. Yeah, therefore that proves that there is a consciousness. So well, definitely from that standpoint, from the standpoint of Vyavarika Jagat, where you experience the consciousness, we give the name Chit for the absolute consciousness, pure consciousness, which is really not experientiable, like that. And also we give the name Ananda with respect to this Vyavarik Jagat, where you experience Ananda in form of a Priya Moda, Pramoda, etc. So that is just a Pratibimba Ananda or Anubhava Ananda. Pratibimba Ananda or Anubhava Ananda. Why Pratibimba Ananda? Because consciousness manifests in the mind, in the vrittis, and the particular vritti in which the Ananda also manifests. And that's called Shanta vritti, Sattva vritti, where consciousness manifests as Ananda also. And therefore, definitely with respect to that, well, since they are Anubhavananda, etc., based on our expenditure pleasures, etc. So, well, we tell consciousness, the Nirguna Brahma, as the Ananda Swarupa, etc. So, these three definitions are given for three Anubhavas. You experience the world, experience the existence of the world. You experience the consciousness in the world, and you experience the Ananda in the world, etc. And therefore, with respect to that, to indicate the absolute as Adhishthanam, as absolute Satchitan, absolute existence, consciousness and Ananda, well, we call Nirgunam Brahma as a Satchitananda. And when these Vyavarik Anubhavas are negated, Nirgun Brahma continue to exist, but we need not use the word Satchit and Ananda. These words become irrelevant. So that is how the absolute consciousness or this Nirgun Brahma is also called Avyavaryam. Na anta pragnam, na bahish pragnam, na uvayata pragnam, na pragnam, prajnana ganam, Shantam, Shivam, Chaturtham, Advaitam, Manyante, etc. etc. So Prapanchopashamaha, Avyavaри, etc. I don't remember the whole this one, but there's Avyavari. Means for Brahman, Avyavaryam means you cannot transact. It means you cannot use any word. There will not be a verbal transaction for Nirgunam Brahma. That's true. No word. No verbal transaction is possible for Nirgunam Brahma. But with respect to this, as an Adhishthanam of the Adhyastha Jagat, because you experience all these three things in Adhyastha Jagat, existence you experience, consciousness you experience, and also Ananda you experience in this Jagat, well, Adhishthanam is quite distinct from that. These three things are there in absolute measure, because it's a truth, it's a content of this Adhyastha Prapancha, and therefore to indicate that we use these three words: absolute existence, absolute consciousness, pure consciousness, and which is the nature of limitlessness, fullness, Ananda. Therefore we give this Satchit Ananda name to Nirgunam Brahma. And once you negate that Adhyastha Prapancha as Adhyastha, definitely you negate it as a Mithya, then you need not use Nirgunam Brahma exists, rope will exist. You need not say now rope as Adhishthanam. You need not have to use word. The word Adhishthanam is gone now. Rope is rope. Therefore, here also in this way, this verbal transaction, etc., will not be possible for Nirgunam Brahma. So after negating these three words, these three things, these three words also become Mithya. Satchidananda word becomes Mithya. So these three words can only be used for Nirgunam Brahma from the functioning of Brahman as the adhishthanam of the entire prapancha, which is adhyasta, which is mithya. When prapancha is negated, Brahman loses the adhishthanam status also. Then Sachidananda words also loses the status. That is how yadvacha anabhyuditam yenavag abhyudate tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. Yadvacha anabhyuditam, which cannot be revealed by any words, vacha, which cannot be revealed by any words, yenavag abhyudate, etc., because of which the words reveal the things. Well, without consciousness, Brahman, words also cannot function. And therefore, so that is how Satchidananda also, etc., is we are using those words with respect to this Jagat, which is Adhyastham, on the Brahman, which is Adhisthana. And all these three things you experience in Adhyastha also. Then what about Brahman? These three things are there in Brahman or not? In Adhisthana or not? Yes, it is there in absolute measure, because that's Adhisthana. And therefore, very existence actually, this is the way it has been said here, but existence of the Jagat is the existence of Brahman. The consciousness in the Jagat is the consciousness of Brahman. Consciousness, that is Brahman. Ananda in the Jagat, in the mind, Priyamoda, Moda, etc., is nothing but the Ananda, that is the nature of the Brahman. And therefore, ultimately, what you experience in Adhyastha is ultimately from Adhisthana only. You know very well. The very existence of the snake is the existence of the rope. How, if rope, if the snake has its own existence, then where is question of Adhyastha? They are independent. Rope also is independent in terms of existence, and snake also. Then if it's a real snake, then if the existence of the snake belongs to the snake, that's a real snake. It is not Adhyastha. And therefore, ultimately, to indicate the Adhishthanam is lending everything, existence and everything. Well, we use word Satchit Ananda. With respect to this Jagat, which is Adhyastha, we use this Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, etc., and Ananda, etc. So that's what he is answering, Purupaksha. Purupaksha was telling how this Swarupa Guna is there in Nirgunam Brahma. Well, we should, because ultimately it's a guna. That guna how can it remain in Brahman, etc., Nirgunam Brahma? So that he himself gave this explanation. Gunanam lakshakatvena, now see that. Sarupa gunas are lakshaka. Lakshaka means lakshayati, indicates. So Sarupa gunas are indicator of the Brahman, revealer of Brahman, etc., when Adhishthanam is kept in the mind. Even these words actually are indicator of Nirguna Brahman, the Satchidananda, assuming the presence of the universe. After negation of the universe, which is Adhyastha, etc., then Adhisthanattva, etc., also is not there. So, but Nirgunam can be used from the standpoint of the gunas. So, once you have negated all these gunas, but Nirgunam, any word, Advaitam also. Why should you use Advaitam? Non-dual. Means there is experience of duality. So to negate that, you use word Advaitam. That there is a thing which is behind, which is the Adhisthana, which is the very basis of the duality. The duality, see, if duality doesn't have any Adhisthana, doesn't have any basis, means duality is real. Could you follow what I am saying? So when you say there is some Adhisthana basis, etc., for the duality, then that must be what? Free from duality. So we use word Advaitam. Once you understood duality is mithya, then you need not have to keep on telling Brahman is non-dual. When you say Brahman is non-dual or I am non-dual, in your mind you are negating duality. With respect to duality, with respect to Vyavarika Prapancha, which is a plurality, there is a plurality there, and so you use the Adhishthanam is free from that. For that you use the word Advaita, etc. So to negate all the gunas, definitely, any guna is there, any guna, please understand, any guna is there in Brahman, Brahman will never be a subject. Because suppose you say, no Swamiji, Brahman has a guna, Atma has a guna. How do you know? How do you know? You have to tell I have seen or I have experienced. The moment you say I have experienced, gone. Gone. It doesn't have Atma status. No way. You have to tell. Because if I am going to ask you, how do you know Atma has a guna? You will have to tell you have experience. What will you say? Or you will rely on some person who says Atma has a guna. Either way. Then that person has experience and you believe that. You cannot prove guna. That is why the biggest thing for the difference between Atma and Anatma is this. There are 5 factors. One of that is this. Atma, the consciousness, is free from any attributes. And Anatma is all the time having attributes. Any attribute. Good, bad, whatever you say. Anatma means with attributes. And Atma means all the time free from attributes. Anatma means by nature it has guna. Prasiddha gunas. And Atma and some Swarupa gunas also. But Atma is free from any attributes. Only we use word guna to Satchidananda to indicate. Satchidananda is to indicate Brahman. That's it. So gunanam lakshakatvena. Well, so since Swarupa gunas are indicators, na antah praveshanam. Therefore they cannot be included in Nirguna Brahma. So what about word Nirgunam Brahma? Well, it also cannot be included in Nirgunam Brahma. Nothing can be included. Then what? Just silent. That's how some people say Buddha, when people asked about the nature of the self and etc. Lord Buddha kept quiet. That's it. Yeah, really, they say that. Lord Buddha became silent. So from the silent, then the Shishyas have started interpreting. The nature of Atma is silence. So others say nature of Atma is Shunyam, free from attributes, nothing, just Shunyam. Buddha has not told Atma is Shunyam. The followers are telling. The followers of the Buddha is telling. Buddha was not a Shunyavadi. But Lord Buddha wanted to say that Atma is beyond just description through the words. But his silence was interpreted. Mandukya itself says amatra hai. When you utter a word, ma, om, when you utter this word, right? That matras you utter, that before you uttered matra, sound, what was there? Silence. And when it goes away, when you stop chanting, what is there? Silence. So when sound is emerging from what? Silence. Merging into what? Silence. Then in between also, what is the adhishthanam of that? Silence. Silence is the basis of the sound. That's called a matra. That's called a matra. Where there is no matra. Between two omkaras, there is a matra. There is silence. Means no description. No words. No description. Means free from all attributes. So Nirgunam Brahma, well, so here, Nanta Praveshanam, any word which we are using right now, even as a Swarupa Guna, Vidhe Mukhena or Nisheda Mukhena, all are ultimately with respect to Vyavarika Prapancha. You see this, the biggest definition of Atma from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad I told you, Asthulam, Ananu, Arasvam, Adirgham, Achayam, Alohitam, Anakasham, right? Atamaha, all with respect to what? Asthulam, negation of Sthula Sharira or Sthula Prapancha. Already, Vyavarik Prapancha has come. Ananu, Arasvam, Adirgham, anything. So description of Atma, we are using word Atma is Asthulam, Akshara is Asthulam, Ananuhu. You are bringing Vyavarik Prapancha. With respect to that, you are describing. And therefore, even aksharam, you see, naksharati. Naksharati iti akshara. Means there is something which is ksharam. Whole entire adhyastha prapancha is ksharam, changing, decaying. Adhisthana, which is definitely free from this. Adhisthana has to be free from what is adhyastha. Yeah? For you superimpose snake upon the rope, then rope really becomes poisonous. Then what? You superimpose a poisonous snake upon a rope. Rope remains rope. Rope remains rope. Adhisthana is totally free from what is adhyastha. How will you indicate that? Naksharati. Oh, adhishthanam doesn't decay, it is timeless. It doesn't change. You have to say, means what? There is something called change. Yeah, what is superimposed is changing continuously. Any name and form is keep on changing. Undergoes Shadvikara. The adhisthana, the truth, the content of that is free from any change. So you have to express in word. Aksharam. The word aksharam, by the way, Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha and Uttama Purusha. Their akshara is Maya, by the way. So we have to be careful. But here akshara, what we are discussing is the Akshara Brahmana. In the Dharana Upanishad, where Gargi asked about what is the nature of this Atma, then she asked what is the nature of Akshara, etc. And then Yajnavalkya gave a definition. All with respect to Vyavarika Prapancha, whatever the words are used for indicating Atma, that Asthulam doesn't, that is not entering into Atma. Atma is Atma only. But to negate what is Sthula, so that's a Nisheda Mukhena. But that is that way. Therefore, while Asthulam etc. indicate Atma, but not Antah Praveshanam. They cannot be included in that. Nothing can be included. Even word silence also cannot be included. Amatra. Means there are matras. With respect to that, this is called a matra. So, Chaturthaha, Abhyavaryaha, Prapanchopashamaha, etc. So, anyway, beyond all verbal transactions, Yadvacha, Anabhyuditam. That's it. Because now the world is resolved, understood as a mithya. Well, then you need not use any word for Brahman. So anyway, so Sarup Guna can coexist with Nirguna Brahma temporarily. All are answers of this possible question by this Purvapaksha, given by Purvapaksha himself. He answered and he created doubt in it. So Vidyaranya says, wonderful, well, I am proud of you. Iti chet, if this is your contention, O Purvapakshi, you only explain and resolve your own doubt. Evamevastu means tathastu. Well, so then okay, now are you happy? Tathastu. Well, so let us come to our now topic. Nirguna Brahma Upasana may you practice in this manner. So Brahma Tattvam Upasyatam. So Sarupala Guna Lakshitattvena. All the Sarupa Gunas, Satchidanda, Asthulam, etc., Prajnanam, whatever are there, they are Lakshita, they are Lakshaka, they are indicator of Brahman. They are not they are existing with the Brahman. Brahman is Brahman. With respect to Jagat, we are giving various names, like Shuddham. So many are there. How will Shuddham? Why should you say Shuddham? The words are there are Punyas and Papas, Ragas and Dveshas and this. Oh, Jagat, again, Vyavarik Jagat. No, Brahman is free from that. So you have to say now Shuddham. So this is how it is. So word Shuddham means we feel Brahman is really a pure. But nothing like that. Brahman is Brahman. Just Prajnanagana. That's it. One mass of consciousness. Dense mass of consciousness. Whole. That's it. Nothing else. This consciousness, etc. also, because there is something called inner. So we say consciousness. Anyway, But this is how it is. This is how you are. Just be silent. That's it. You are what you are after negation. You are free from all attributes, just silence. It's about 73. Okay, it's 11:28. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.